This is the news on top of the hour.
Live from our studio in Georgetown.
Kaieteur Radio, 99.1 FM.
Good evening. Welcome to this evening's newscast on Kaieteur Radio. I am Kevin Smith. Let's get to the news in detail. Engine number one, the small hedge fund that dared to challenge ExxonMobil over the past few months on its weak response to climate change, has dealt the oil giant another blow as it won another seat on the board of directors today. This was disclosed by ExxonMobil after it updated the preliminary results for the election of directors as its annual meeting of shareholders held on March 26, 2021. Engine number one's challenge for board seats was rooted in its dissatisfaction with ExxonMobil's emissions output. According to Bloomberg, the oil giant's annual emissions from its operations are set to increase from 122 million metric tons in 2017 to 143 million metric tons in 2025. The investment firm was also concerned about the company's decisions, which have led to its declining fiscal health. Meanwhile, under the Termination of Employment and Severance Pay Act, GWI intends to dismiss another 81 of its employees within a 3-month time frame. In a statement issued today, the company disclosed that a total of 157 staffers are listed to be sent off as part of its restructuring plans and rationalizing of the staffing establishment. GWI posited in the statement that the workers must go in order to ensure the efficient and productive management of daily operations. The process of sending home workers started Monday with 76 staff members receiving their termination letters. GWI noted that the 76 will officially be off the job on June 30th, and they will receive their severance benefits by month end. GWI claimed too that it has been trying to find other jobs for the laid-off workers. And I'll just tell you, in a notice today, the Ministry of Natural Resources urged miners and loggers to take extreme precautions in their operations and use of hinterland infrastructure in light of the ongoing intense weather conditions. The ministry noted that through GGMC and the Ghana Forestry Commission, it is cognizant that such conditions will pose great challenges and will impact the natural resources sector and its productivity. As such, the ministry said that it is urging all stakeholders to exercise caution and observe all necessary safety practices in keeping with sustainable logging and mining guidelines to prevent accidents. While the current weather conditions pose a threat to the sector, it was noted that the ministry and its agencies remain committed to developing the sector responsibly while achieving its targets. In other news, minibus and taxi operators who use the Peters Hall tarmac of the Demerara Harbour Bridge as their base will soon have to relocate. This is according to the Ministry of Public Works. The ministry revealed that Public Works Minister Juan Edgell met with the operators to inform them that their relocation is necessary to minimize traffic congestion and to allow emergency vehicles easier access to the bridge. Minister Edgell further stated that he preferred to speak with the operators rather than implement policies that would put them out of business. It has been proposed that the bus drivers relocate to the parking lot opposite the Demerara Harbour Bridge head office on the northern side of the bridge, while the taxi drivers operate from the street before the bridge near the overpass. And moving on, President of the Center for International Environmental Law, Carol Moffett, is of the firm conviction that the most recent constitutional case filed by two Guyanese against ExxonMobil's 3 projects, Liza Phase 1, 2, and Payara, is crucial to protecting the health of current and future generations. Moffett noted that the case highlights that more than 90 million tons of greenhouse gases will be emitted directly from those 3 projects alone. To put this into perspective, Moffett said it is tantamount to burning more than 260,000 hectares of Guyana's forests, or practically removing close to 80% of Araucrama, which comprises 371,000 hectares of forest. Moffett said too that one ought to bear in mind, that the case has not taken into consideration the emissions released from flaring due to the Liza Destiny's gas compressor being plagued by faults. In other news, PPPC-nominated commissioners of GCON have tabled motions for the immediate dismissal of CEO Keith Lowenfield, Deputy CEO Roxanne Myers, and Region 4 Returning Officer Claremont Mingo. The three officials who are currently before the court on charges related to electoral fraud have been cited for a series of grave violations connected to the March 2020 elections and for their defiance of the instructions by GCOM Chair Claudette Singh to use the recount figures for the final result of the elections. Meanwhile, the COVID-19 pandemic might have unleashed economic hardships on many oil conglomerates like Stabroek Block partner Hess Corporation. Its shareholders and executives are poised to be on cloud nine once the Liza Phase 2, Payara and Yellowtail projects offshore Guyana come on stream. According to John Riley, Executive Vice President and Chief Financial Officer for Hess Corporation, each project has the potential to rake in at least $1 billion every year. The Hess official made this disclosure during his participation at the UBS Global Energy Conference that was recently held online. And to wrap things up this evening, let's tell you under the leadership of the former GWI CEO, Dr. Richard Van West Charles, a contractor was reportedly paid 93% of the awarded contract and only 11.2% of the work was completed. This was revealed by the current CEO of GWI, Sheikh Baksh. Baksh disclosed that the company currently has a forensic audit being conducted, and one discovery that was made so far is in relation to the Vlasingen Road, Newtown-Georgetown pipeline project. Baksh stated that the contract was for $123 million and added that the sum of $140 million was paid to the contractor, which resulted in the sum of $87 million being paid above for the work that was done. As a result, the contract was terminated and legal proceedings were instituted against the defaulting contractor in the High Court. And with that, we've come to the end of this evening's newscast. I'm Kevin Smith. Thank you for listening. Coming up at exactly 19 hours 20 is the Glenn Lal Show. Tell it as it is.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different medium: